Hi guys, welcome to Balls to Zach and Julia's channel again. Sorry, I'm just mulling over the Vikings loss a little more. I had another drink. Now that I got that out of the way, just started looking at the last video. Kind of want to make an open letter. An open letter to somebody special and dear to my heart. And dear to a lot of people's hearts. I'm not talking about Mr. Rogers either right now. So you can just forget about that while I'm taking off my, my pretty sweet sweater vest here. But no, I'm writing an open letter to most of our saviors this past year. Number 4, Brett Favre. So this letter goes out to you, number 4, Brett. Dear Brett, please, the Saints did lay a beat down on you tonight, but please do not retire. At this point, you could have gone out 2 years ago, still playing for the Packers. You could have retired, still playing for the Packers at this point. You could have retired when Aaron Ross picked you off. But at this point, look at this. You could retire in a lot more competitive game, but you could, I don't know. Let's think about this. This past year, your favorite target was Sidney Rice. Definitely going to be back next year. Not going to be the same receiver if Travaris Jackson's throwing to him. We can all agree on that. You made Percy Harvin into Rookie of the Year. Is Travaris Jackson going to do that? I don't think so. And Bernard Berrien, he didn't have a great of a year with without Gus Frerotte throwing it to him. But he didn't have a damn bad year either. Can I say damn on YouTube? I don't know. But that's besides the point at this point. And Schenkel, he got 12 touchdown passes? Pretty good for Jeremy Shockey's backup tight end. So, at this point, you got a full cast of crew of young, good receivers that are just ready to catch the ball. Our defense is aging. Pat Williams, he's getting 38 years old. We might have the 4 game suspension with Pevin and Cat. Wow.
Kevin and Pat, right?
Yeah, the loss has gone a little too much to me. No, Kevin and Pat might have a 4 game suspension. So that might be looking a little hard, but you think about it, we drafted a defensive tackle. Jimmy Kennedy didn't have a terrible season. I liked him as a backup. Antoine Winfield is getting older every day. Cedric Griffin's about the brightest spot in a dull secondary that we have. But our linebacking crew is pretty solid. Lieber's getting a little bit older on the older side, whatever. But Greenway, he's looking like a top 5 outside linebacker in the NFL right now. EJ coming back, top 15 middle linebacker. Lieber's probably the best linebacker that nobody's heard of in the NFL. So we got a decent linebacking crew, and not to mention Jared Allen and Ray Edwards coming back. So we're looking good. We still got a top 15 defense, I believe. Add in some draft picks, 1 or 2 of them developed to be better than we think they are. We're looking really good, Brett. So at this point, Brett, this is what I'm asking you. I'm asking you not to take us back to the years of Warren Moon, Brad Johnson, Randall Cunningham, Brad Johnson, Gus Frerotte, Dante Culpepper, Brad Johnson. I got you. I threw another Brad Johnson in there when he wasn't supposed to be. But actually, I could probably throw Brad Johnson at least somewhere in there 3 to 4 times. But then I can still throw Gus Frerotte back in there. And, Brooks Bollinger started a couple games. I don't know, I think Wade Wilson started a couple games. And I actually think a little bit back in the 2003 season, might not have recognized it, but I think that was Fran Tarkenton playing again. So, at this point, Brett, please come back. We could draft Tim Tebow, we could draft Colt McCoy, we could draft Sam Bradford, we could draft Bugs Bunny. It's not going to matter. They're all going to need another year sitting on the bench. And who better to learn it from than the greatest quarterback to have ever played the game of football? At this point, you are the best. You could go back to Deanna. You could live in Mississippi. Ole Miss isn't anything worth cheering for anymore. You don't even have a professional football team, so you might as well come back to the Vikings. You could sit there, mow your lawn, mull it over for another couple months. Or, what you could do? Tomorrow, you can come out and say, hey, I'm going to come back and I'm going to play for the Vikings for 1 more year. And it's going to be the best year that I've ever played. Which a lot of people, they're going to be skeptical like they were last year. All the commentators on ESPN They were, oh my god, the beginning of the season, the Vikings this is going to be crap because Brett should have decided that he should have came before fucking training camp. I threw another F word in there. This is going to be an adult take video. I am dearly sorry about that. Your daughters aren't going to be able to watch this, Brett. But, I mean, at this point, let's think about it. You could say you're coming back tomorrow. You can go and you can ride your lawnmower for like another 2.5 months. So that takes us right to before the draft. First round pick, we take a deep tackle out of Alabama. Forgot his name. Second round pick, we take Colt McCoy. Your future protege. Third round pick, we take Eric Decker, wide receiver for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. After this, that leaves you with a steady, awesome cast of wide receivers. And you know what, Brett? You should come back and play for us. Then you can have the whole summer. You know, you can, instead of just being number 1 target Sidney Rice, you can have number 2 target Bernard Baer, and number 3 target Percy Harvin, number 4 target Visanthe Shenko, and you can be throwing Chester Taylor and Adrian Peterson passes out of the backfield. Everybody's a winner. Not to mention, you can hit up with your number 1 red zone target, Jeff Dugan. I mean, what's greater than that? Throwing touchdown passes to Jeff Dugan. Nothing. And you know what? Jimmy Kleinsasser might even be able to help you out with a catch or 3. He might even catch a touchdown next year if you're playing quarterback. Instead, if Travaris Jackson or Sage Rosencopter is playing quarterback, it's going to be like a combined. Here's going to be the stats for next year. Travaris Jackson will throw for 12 touchdown passes and 34 interceptions. Sage Rosencopter will have 4 touchdown passes, 2 INTs, but he will have a Rosencopter more times than he threw touchdown passes for. So that's why, Brett, I want you to come out of retirement. And I want you to play for us one last year. Let's try for that Super Bowl one more time. We know you need to end your career on top, Brett. And I mean, if worse comes to worst, you're still not ending your career like Amon Green as a kick returner for the Green Bay Packers, and you still suck. So sincerely, Brett, please come out of retirement. Vikes fan 77.